There are few things in life that make me truly happy, but two of them definitely stick out in the front of my mind. One of them is being right about something. Now, I'm not always right about things, but I like to be right about things because it makes you feel good, makes you feel like you know what you're talking about. And the second thing is being proven right about something that you received strong pushback on, that people doubted your intuition on this game, but then when the proof comes out, you actually see that I was right all along. I've been preaching from the pulpit about a certain upcoming Nintendo Switch game that I felt was overpriced and looked to be pretty half-baked, especially considering it was cheaper on the original platforms it released on. Now, I have no problem with bringing games into the HD era, but I feel like they should be priced appropriately based on whether or not you added in new stuff or not. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is at its heart a Nintendo Wii game that was then ported to the Nintendo 3DS and got a price drop. Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Nintendo Wii was a $50 title. It was a $40 title on the 3DS with added content. And now it's coming to the Switch for $60. And it seems like it's a downgrade. Yes, somehow this game is a downgrade. Obviously not in every aspect of it, but Game Explain, of all people, just put up a great video about it, and I kind of want to talk about it and sort of react to it. So I'll have a link to their video in the description box down below. I know Game Explain people don't like me. Probably kind of well-deserved, some of it. You know, obviously the ex-Game Explain people, because it's just Andre now. Andre probably doesn't like me, but this was a quality video. You know, this was a quality video. I'll have a link to it, so make sure you go watch the full video in the comments section down below. But Nintendo actually released some new footage of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. So now we have more comparison stuff, because initially all we had was that sort of initial trailer. Now, some of these things are going to be very, very nitpicky, but I think it really proves about the total, you know, the totality of this package and how this is just a very half-assed game. And, you know, looking at this sort of stuff, like, it's weird to me. So right off the bat, you know, you can look at like this rainbow here and how this rainbow is like a solid thing. Like, yeah, it's sort of transparent because you could see through it, but it's like a solid bar, whereas it's much more transparent on the Wii and actually like how a rainbow would be. You have to remember, you can easily play Wii games on any sort of, you know, mini PC for $300 or less and upscale them to make them look even better. This is just raw Wii footage that we're looking at here. But there's lots of weird sort of inconsistencies when you look at color changes and stuff like that. Like, why is the sky so much brighter? Like, I think this blue looks a lot more natural than this blue kind of does here. It looks, you know, sharper for sure. And I think the overall image quality is definitely better. But are we missing a shadow here too? Like, I guess maybe it's right here. We can go back a little bit and see if we do have this shadow. Oh, I guess it starts there. But, you know, just little things like that. When you see little side-by-side comparisons. Same thing with, like, these, are they stalactites because they're hanging from the ceiling? Like, they look more transparent, whereas they look more full here. And I think with this, some people might actually like that fuller image. But, you know, just kind of going along here, you see things in the background. But one of the big areas that is definitely picking up steam online. Oh, there's also Wii effects that are missing. That's good. You know, who needs those? But the water, I want to show you guys this, and I'll mute the clip here. But here's the water on the on this level here for the Nintendo Switch, and here it is on the Wii. Now, I'm sorry, but this is very half-assed water. Like, this should not be a downgrade in how the water comes across. Like, it just looks like a white line that's not actually, you know, replicating how water is, whereas this is like a proper wave. There's transparency to it. There is, you know, depth to it as well. And, like, this really caught me off guard when I saw this, because this looks so much more half-assed. And even here, look, there's no water building up around the islands here. But when you look at the actual Wii version of the game, there's differences. It gives it more depth. It gives it more liveliness to the background. And like I said, these are kind of nitpicky things. And, you know, most people probably won't care about these sorts of things. But things should not be worse than the original version of the game. Even this water, look at this. there's less texture to it. There's less definition to it. This has more texture. This has more definition to it. Things should not be going backwards. Things should be going forwards. But I think I figured out why all this is happening. I think I have actually figured out, and there is a section here that shows improvements on stuff. Even though to me, that's an improvement. That lighting, wait a second here. I like the rays here of light that come through. That looks more natural than how that looks. Okay, but whatever. There is an improvement section. Like I said, I'm not going to show the whole video because you should go watch it. Like, it's a good video. But the problem I have with this, and the reason I think this is happening, is I don't think this is actually built on the Wii version of the game. I think this is built on the 3DS version of the game, because the 3DS version additional content that was added into that version of the game is indeed being ported over to the Nintendo Switch. And when you see things like the water aspect, that's definitely more of a Nintendo 3DS effect. So I don't think they're taking the Wii version of the game and making it better. They're taking the 3DS version of the game, which kind of in and of itself is a bit of a downgrade because, you know, say what you will, but I think the Wii was a little bit stronger in terms of graphics. Look at something like Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii versus the 3DS version where you had to have the new 3DS just to play the damn game. So obviously Donkey Kong Country Returns on the 3DS was not designed with the new 3DS in mind. It was designed with everyone's 3DS in mind. So they're taking an inferior version of the game that they originally sold for $40 on their handheld device, but they're charging you $60 for it on the Wii, on the Switch. What is this? What is this? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. There is a reason I did not buy Luigi's Mansion 2 HD at $60 because I played it for $40 on the 3DS when it came out. And I get it. It's about getting the game into more people's hands. It's about being able to reach more consumers with this game. But if the game is inferior to the original release, is it even worth doing? I don't think this is going to be cleaned up, people. It is December right now. We are in the month of December. This game ships in January. It's probably already gone gold, and there's going to be these graphical inconsistencies throughout the game. And yes, some areas of the game are going to look better, but at the end of the day, this is a game that has been released now for the third time at the highest price point with arguably the least amount of additional stuff added into it. At least the 3DS version, while a graphical downgrade, did add additional content into it. But now we're just taking the 3DS version, making it look prettier, even though we should have done the Wii version of the game because that's the best looking version of the game that exists now as far as graphical details are concerned. And then we're putting it on the Switch and charging you $60. $40, $50, we can have a conversation. $60, you can kiss my ass, Nintendo. I knew there was BS surrounding this. I knew there was going to be some sort of scandal involved in it. And I'm glad that Game Explained brought this out into the forefront. You know, they're usually a more positive channel. So to see the, Andre over there doing that, hey, you know what? Shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to you. Good work with your discerning eye with this. Like I said, I'll have a link to the video in the description box down below. Make sure you check out the whole video. Tell him RGT sent you. He'll probably be surprised that, I told you to go watch a Game Explained video, but this is a good video, man. This is the kind of stuff I like to see. And the fact that, bigger channels are calling this out and not just accepting what Nintendo is giving to you, like that's what consumers need to do. I'm not saying if you buy the game like you're dumb or something like that. I'm just saying you need to be aware of what you're buying, and what you're buying is a bit of a downgrade. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit that bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.